We're in lesson 12 studying while loops. In my first video I discussed the three parts of a loop. And we saw the parts of a for loop are the same as the three parts of a while loop. In the second video we covered the very first loop on this handout from last week. And now I'll try and knock out numbers 2 and 3 in this video. The first one prompted you either for a start number A and a stop number B, and then count from A up to B, whatever they are. Okay, so here we go. I've already asked for a start number and a stop number. Our initialization will be int I equals, well, we want to start at A. I starts at A, and it goes up. I goes up until it gets to B. That's our control expression. And, oops. And inside the loop, we display I. And don't forget to increment I. We thought in the last video, if you don't increment I ever, it's an infinite loop. Or if you increment it after the loop is over, same thing. So here we go. Compile that and run it. And if I want to go from, like in the example, I think was 2 to 6. From 2 to 6. Okay. While we're here, let's pause and take a look at what happens if you put the increment first before the out.println line. Can you see what's going to happen? If I enter 2 and 6, then before I can print a 2, I is going to increment to 3. So we'll never see a 2. And then at the end, when I gets to 6, and this is still true, I becomes 7, and we'll see a 7. So it won't be 2 to 6 if I enter 2 and 6. It'll be 3 to 7, I think. Let's try that. Start number is 2, stop number is 6, and it goes from 3 to 7. So if you get bad output on the ends, your start and stop are the wrong numbers, check to see where your increment is in regards to the rest of the body of the loop. Now the next loop we did last week was display the factors of a number. Ask the user for a number and display its factors. So let's try that one. We want to go from 1 up to the number and see which numbers are a factor of that number. So we go from int I is 1 and keep on looping while I is less than equal to n. Again, the exact same pieces of last week's for loops are in this week's while loops. So if n modulus I is 0, that tells us I is a factor of n, and we want to just display it in this video, in this program. And of course, don't forget your increment there at the end, your step expression, whatever it is. So compile it and run it. And if we enter 8, we should see 1, 2, 4, and 8, and we're good. So that's our first loop this week with an if inside it. We did many loops last week with an if inside them.